Hello everyone, it's Half for Jojo. I'm back at it again with another video. This time I'm doing something a little bit different, along the same lines, but different. So I'm sure you've all heard of this individual, the mum who buys 32 pizzas for her kids, stuff like that. Boy mum x3_b on TikTok. Now, I'm just dipping my toe into this because I've been watching people cover these videos a few weeks ago when it had gone a bit more viral back then and stuff like that. But for the most part, she does a lot of like grocery haul videos and stuff like that, where she buys an absolute shit ton of food, and it's not very good food, especially for young kids. She gets like a lot of pizzas, like I said, a lot of things like cheese and stuff like that. Now there is like 6 or 7 people living in her house. I think it's her, 3 kids and her parents or something like that. So there's a lot of people living in one house, and I know it's hard to feed a lot of people, especially when so many people have different tastes and stuff like that. But however, she gets a lot of criticism for the type of food that she is bringing in the house, the type of food that she's feeding her young kids and stuff like that. And she uploaded a grocery haul video yesterday, so I'm going to be checking that out. It's a new one. I don't think I've seen anyone cover it yet. I haven't seen it. I just wanted to kind of, again, dip my toe and see what's going on, see if there's been any improvements and stuff like that, if she's making any different choices, if she's cut down on the amount of fucking pizzas and shit she's buying. But who knows. And then after we watch this, we're going to go through some of the replies she gives to some of the comments, because I think that even though, yes, there are a lot of people out there who are probably quite mean to her, probably saying some shit that's probably not the greatest, but I think she takes a lot of the criticism too much to heart and she doesn't take it very well. So we're going to watch some of those videos after as well. But anyways, without any further ado, I've already given a long intro about this. I'm going to get into this kind of grocery haul video and see what's going on with it and if there's been any changes or anything like that whatsoever. Okay, so this is the video here, so let's get into it and see what is going on.
Marjorie Hall is a 37-year-old full-time working mom of 3 boys who also moved her parents in with her.
So there's quite a lot of them, like I mentioned, so I can understand buying for a lot of people is hard, but hey ho.
And we went shopping at Sam's Club, Walmart, and Food Lion.
Okay, so obviously I'm not from America, so the only one I recognized there was Walmart. See, I don't know about any of the others, if they were, decent prices or anything like that, so I don't know. But we're gonna have the bill total at the end, so we're gonna see if it's like reasonable amount of money spent week to week or not.
A lot. So I can't separate it by store, just because it's kind of all mixed in. I'm going to show you in just a second.
Fair enough.
What I'm standing, like I'm surrounded by groceries.
Damn. Okay, that is a lot, and I can already see that there's like not a whole lot of vegetables or stuff like that so far. Not a whole lot of kind of fresh food by the looks of it so far. It seems like a lot of that is actually like bottled drinks and stuff.
But I'll just tell you the totals at the end. So we got these here, these donuts.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot. 32 packs. Yeah, that's a lot. Already not the greatest thing to be buying for kids and stuff like that. I'm going to preface this. I was a very overweight kid. I grew up eating stuff like this, if I'm being honest. Like the kind of stuff that she's buying, I grew up for the most part eating stuff like this. But it's not the best thing to be eating, especially as a kid. I don't think we should be having things like this in the house. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, kids can't eat stuff like this ever, because they can, as a treat maybe. maybe they've gone to school and done a fucking good job, so you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna treat you to like a donut or something, yeah, something like that. Sure, people are going to say, oh, but we shouldn't be rewarding kids with food and stuff like that. We should be rewarding kids with other things. Maybe, to be honest, maybe we should be rewarding kids with like a toy or something instead, perhaps. But I don't mind it so much when it's like a little treat here and there, when you occasionally give them things like this. But I think to have it in the house all the time, it makes it so easy for them to just either grab it when you're not looking, or constantly want to eat it because you've got it around the house and constantly asking you, Mum, can I have this fucking sugary shit? Can I have it? Can I have it? Stuff like that. But, I just generally think that it should be more of a treat rather than like a thing that you have laying around the house all the time.
Nuts, powdered and chocolate. They have a half a loaf of bread because this is all they had and this is the best bread.
Okay.
Got some hamburger buns.
Can't be too mad at bread if I'm honest, as long as you're not eating too much of it, you can't be too mad with bread or
We
buns
got some
anyway.
granola bars.
Granola bars. I don't hate these. In fact, obviously, I really like the way they taste. I love a Nature Valley granola bar, but I think they're probably not the best thing to be snacking on personally. They can be very high calorie, very sugary. It's probably better than eating a donut, but however, depending on whether or not you have multiple bars or stuff like that, because again, I was a fat kid, sometimes I'd be eating multiple bars of stuff like this, and obviously it wouldn't keep me satiated for long enough to withhold myself for other meals, so I'd be eating a lot of shit throughout the day because it's not very filling or anything like that. But hey ho, I know a lot of people are going to disagree when I say I'm not a big fan of snacking, but that's fine. Everyone do their own thing, and I think even if you have snacks but you're being reasonable about it, that's fine. But I personally just don't like snacking because I feel like I'd rather have more high protein meals, more satiating meals, bigger, more satiating meals throughout the day, rather than having small meals and then having snacks in between and stuff like that. But I'm not against snacking as long as it's reasonable.
We got a 10-pound bag of sugar.
Jesus, that's a lot of sugar. Damn. That's like 4.5 kilograms it says for sugar. I don't know why you're getting through so much sugar. Like, what do you do with all that sugar? I don't know. I don't think she like bakes or anything like that, and a lot of the food she makes isn't like fresh food. A lot of it is kind of oven dinners or microwave dinners and stuff like that, from what I've seen other people cover before. So I don't know what she's using all this sugar for. I don't know if she's putting it in drinks or stuff like that, or whether all of them are putting it in drinks like coffees or something like that, but that's a lot of sugar. Like, when I say I have had the same bag of sugar for probably many years, I mean I have had the same like 1 kilo bag of sugar for many years, and I don't even know if it's been opened. I genuinely think that downstairs, if I go in that cupboard, I'm probably going to see some sugar, and it's probably barely even dusted off the top if opened in the first place, because you don't need to be eating that much sugar. The only time you need to be having sugar is if you're baking a cake or something like that, if we're being honest. If you're a baker or some shit. And again, if you're having it in like teas and coffees, I'd rather people have sweetener and stuff like that because it's lower calorie. And having, again, liquid calories is just pointless.
Got a 3-pack of the cheese dip.
Cheese dip. Oh, damn. Oh, that's a lot. And it's not even good. I hate that kind of cheese dip. I don't like it. Now, you can get like more fresh kind of cheese dips in like a selection pack kind of thing, when you've got your sour cream, guacamole, salsa, and then there's like a cheese dip in there, which is actually quite tasty. It's not like the plasticky kind of cheese. It's like I don't know what's in it. I'm not going to lie to you. It is almost like a sour cream type consistency, but it's cheesy. I can't explain it. I don't know if that's just like a thing over here in the UK, but yeah, fuck it. I do think it's quite nice, but it's a lot better than that cheese dip. I hate that plasticky kind of cheese dip. I think it ruins nachos when you have it on it. I prefer fresh cheese, fresh mozzarella, fresh cheddar, anything like that. If I'm gonna have nachos, which I rarely have because again, calories and stuff, but yeah, that cheese dip is not good. It's very, very, very ultra processed and kind of tastes a bit yucky, and boy, it ain't worth the calories in my opinion.
Got one toy bag of Doritos.
Okay, just the one. Again, like I said with the donuts and stuff, I preferably wouldn't have this stuff laying around the house unless you're again having it as like a little treat, or say if you're just like, you know what, let's all as a family have some fucking nachos or something, you know, that's fine if you have it as like a one-off, but something tells me that's not one-off.
You got one.
Okay, yeah, like I said, there's another bag. There's not just a
bag of
one-off.
Doritos. We got two boxes of.
Okay, vegetables is good. You know, I'm not the type of person who's like, oh, don't buy fucking tinned vegetables or frozen vegetables. You know, having any vegetable, even if it's like in a can or it's frozen, is a lot better than having no vegetables at all. Yeah, so that's, you know, at least we've got some veggies in here. But like I said, from what I saw down there, didn't look like there was many veggies. It looked like it was primarily just kind of snacks and drinks.
Green beans, they're 8 cans per box. We got some caffeine-free Coke.
Caffeine free, it's caffeine free, but I think that's still like full sugar again, which is a bit pointless if you're worried about like the caffeine content and the effects it has on your fucking heart or something like that, or whatever reason, but you're still having like the sugary Coke. It seems a bit pointless. I think the sugar's going to be just as bad as the caffeine, if not worse, if you're over drinking it, let's be honest. But hey ho, again, drinking liquid calories is so pointless. Just have some Coke Zero.
We got 2 boxes of cinnamon toast.
Damn, those are mega boxes as well. Fuck me. 2 bags inside it. Shit. So there's like 4 bags in total. Yeah, that's a lot. Like I said, I don't like cereals as breakfast. I really don't. I don't think they're good breakfasts at all. They hardly make a good snack, if I'm honest. You feel hungry after. You know, I'm not too mad about people, you know, having cereal around the house in general, but I'm not a big fan of cereals, and generally I think, you know, getting hooked on all that sugar, especially at a young age, is probably not the best thing. Personally, I'd prefer, obviously we'd prefer kids and stuff to be eating healthier, satiating meals and stuff like that, but, you know, I get it. Oh, you know, I'm not going to cook for fucking 5 kids every day in the morning or whatever, but you could at least choose a better option. Like again, eating yogurts and stuff like that. Like I said, yogurts with a bit of oats. Fucking, it's brilliant. Good shit. Or some fruit, you know.
Crunch. And we got 30 of these.
Jesus Christ. I almost forgot. I mean, she's gone 2 less than usual. Usually it's 32, and in fact I think the video before, if I remember correctly, she made another haul like 2 weeks ago or so. She had 35 pizzas that time, so she's got 5 less than last time and 2 less than the video that hit kind of virality. But fuck me, you don't need that many pizzas. You really do not need that many pizzas. I know apparently one of her kids doesn't eat anything but pizza, but that's not fucking good. Like, I mean, that says a lot about the stuff you've been feeding him since he was young, because I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, but some kids are fussy when they eat. Yeah, for sure. Especially if you kind of weaned them off of fucking pizza and shit like that. A lot of kids are going to be fussy. A lot of kids are not going to want to eat anything else when you've only given them good shit like this. They're going to fucking eat like a tomato pasta, for example, and they're going to be like, oh, this is shit, I don't like it. Because obviously they've eaten pizza, which is, you know, everyone loves pizza, right? I love pizza. But having pizza every single day and having that many pizzas is just not good for anyone, let alone a kid. Like, Jesus. Nah, it's just not good. You know, again, like I said, having it as a one-off is fine, but having it every single day, having 30 fucking pizzas is insane. And how do you fit them all in the fridge or freezer or whatever as well? I don't know how you do it. Like, I mean, yesterday I went shopping with my family, and we could barely fit what we had in the freezer because it's so packed full of other stuff, and we don't buy 32 fucking pizzas. Damn.
These pizzas?
That's a lot of pizzas.
The tower of pizzas.
Yeah. That's not good. That's
like the Oreos.
Oreos, a big pack of Oreos. Again, like I said, having these things laying around the house, not a good idea.
You got some whipped chocolate frosting.
What do you use that for?
Some sweet cream frosting.
Okay, I don't know what they're using like this kind of frostings and stuff for, because I don't think she bakes cakes or anything like that. I'm pretty sure. So I don't know what you put that on, really.
Some Halloween sprinkles for the kids. I thought these would be really cute. To make some cake
Okay, so you're making some cakes for Halloween. I'm not mad at that. You know, I'm not mad if you want to like make a cake for Halloween or a fucking birthday or, you know, an event, Christmas, whatever. You know, I'm not mad at that. You know, I can't be too pissed off at that. So that's fine. You know, but I still think having that much sugar is a bit diabolical, because regardless of whether it's Halloween or not, I've seen in the previous one she's made, she still buys a lot of sugar. She buys that bag of sugar like every 2 weeks, so I don't know how they're getting through that much sugar.
Eat with them and have some fun for Halloween. 2 cans of evaporated milk.
Okay, so that's probably going in the cake as well, the evaporated milk, maybe. I don't know. I don't bake, so correct me if I'm wrong. But, you know, evaporated milk's very highly calorific. And it looks, yeah, we've got some sun chips. Now, these are probably a lot better choice than the fucking Doritos and stuff, for sure. They are, you know, baked rather than fried, and they've got less calories and stuff. But, again, they're very snacky kind of food, and I think they're a bit kind of pointless. Because, again, you eat the whole bag and you're like, oh, I'm hungry now, you know.
Fruit Loops with marshmallows.
Damn, that's a lot of cereal already. So it's basically 4 bags of cereal, 5, and then that one that makes it 5. Yeah, that's a lot of cereal. I don't know about that.
We just got 1 bag of fries today. We have like 3 or 4 bags.
1 bag of fries. Yeah, she's about to say, yeah, we usually have 3 or 4. I know, I've seen it. She buys like a fuck ton of those big bags of fries, chips and all that. Personally, oven chips and stuff, very expensive. It's a lot cheaper just to buy potatoes and just chop them up, and they taste better too, and they're fresh. You know, there's no preservatives and stuff like that, and you just buy some potatoes and chop it up and put it in the oven. It doesn't take that much longer than doing that, to be honest. It really doesn't. Yes, I know chopping is a bit longer than just getting it out of the bag and slapping it in, but it doesn't take that long to chop up a potato.
Left from last time, so we got 2 distilled waters. We got some mandarins. Okay,
so from what I remember, you know, obviously I don't buy big bottles of water. I don't buy any bottles of water. I think it's a pointless waste of money. But I don't know how true this is, but I think I heard someone say, whether that be in like the comments or another YouTuber or something, someone said she might potentially live in an area where they don't have like fresh, kind of clean drinking tap water or something. So, you know, I'm not too mad about that. But if she does have drinkable tap water and stuff like that, I don't know why you would buy 2 big fucking bottles of water if you could just go to the sink and just be like, bosh. You know, personally.
Some yellow squash.
Okay, so what was that? Tangerines or oranges?
We got 2 distilled waters. We got some mandarins.
Mandarins, okay, yeah, that's good. I do like an orange and mandarin, tangerine type shit. Okay.
Some yellow squash. A head of lettuce. A big box of fruit.
Oh, fucking hell, more fucking cereal. yes, it's good that she's buying the mandarins. Yes, it's good she's buying the squash and the lettuce. But you notice how much lettuce there is in comparison to how many fucking bags of cereal and stuff she's buying, right? That small little head of lettuce is not feeding 6 people. I could eat that whole fucking head of lettuce myself in a salad, and it would be like barely any calories, barely any satiation. You need to buy more of them for everyone. But obviously, she's made her kids fussy from giving them a lot of shit food over the years, so they're probably not eating salads and stuff. You know, everyone being honest, like I think none of them probably are. I think she's probably the only one eating it. That's probably why she doesn't buy a lot of it. Maybe. Or maybe someone else in the family's the only one eating it. It's pretty tragic, really. Again, I've kind of grown up like this. I've grown up eating a lot of shit food like this. I grew up eating a lot of like highly processed cereals, and a lot of the stuff that she's buying there I would have had, or the equivalents of over here, stuff like that. So I am probably a bit more, I guess in a way, understanding, or a bit more like I can relate it to myself than some people can. But it's not good. Obviously I don't look back at the stuff that I ate growing up and thinking, yeah, that's really good, because obviously it wasn't. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I can completely sympathize, oh, you know, she's doing her best. I do think at the end of the day you should make a change to the stuff that you're buying. I do think generally you should realize that all this shit that I'm buying for myself and my kids and stuff like that, it ain't doing us no good. It's doing us a detriment. You know, we're all becoming overweight. We're all gonna have like health issues as we grow older and stuff like that. It's just not fucking good. I did grow up eating stuff like this, but it got better as I got older. Well, as I started getting older, we started eating more fresh meals. We started making food ourselves. We stopped eating microwavable dinners and oven chips and oven pizzas and shit like that, and processed breakfasts and lunches. And we started eating more fresh food as I started getting older. Even then I was still massively overweight, but at least it was better than my diet as a kid. So I will say it got better. Even though it still wasn't ideal, it did get better. At least she could try and make that change for herself and her kids. I get it, it's hard when you've got a lot of kids around and you're working, but she did say that she has her 2 parents living with her as well. I don't know the situation with the parents. I don't know whether the parents aren't working or if they are working, but if they're not, and even if they are working, there's 3 adults in that house. Surely at least one of you has the time to make proper dinners. Surely. And if you don't know how to make proper dinners from scratch or anything like that, or you don't know the right ingredients to use, you can look it up. There's so many resources out there nowadays. You know, I'm not the best chef in the world, but if I had to, I could absolutely fucking chef up something really good, I reckon. You know, I could follow a recipe very easily. You know, yeah. But I'm going to continue now because I'm going to be ranting all day. But that's my thoughts. I genuinely think that you should try and make the change now while you can, especially while your kids are getting older and it's going to get harder. The more kind of shitty eating habits they get into.
A big thing of paper towels.
Okay, you can never go wrong with that many paper towels. That is a lot of paper towels. I don't know how much you're getting through, but I'm not going to complain about fucking paper towels at this point.
A chocolate cake mix and a yellow cake mix.
So I'm guessing this is for the Halloween cake. You know, again, I can't be mad at that. It's like, again, it's a one-off fucking thing for like a holiday or whatever, you know, that's alright. But if you're having this just to have it, then maybe I'm a bit like, you should probably cut down the amount of shit you're eating.
4 boxes of rice-a-roni. The red chocolate, the blue.
The fuck is that? They say rice-a-roni.
4 boxes of rice.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up quickly. I'm sorry, but I have no fucking clue what that is. I'm gonna have to look it up. Okay, rice-a-roni is a popular brand of boxed food mix owned by Quaker Oats Company, rice, vermicelli pasta, savory seasonings. Okay. Alright, so yeah, it's just basically a box of rice with different flavorings and stuff like that, blah blah blah. Yeah, I mean, it's rice, you can't go wrong with rice. It has different flavorings and stuff. But again, I think buying stuff like this, personally, I would just rather buy like a fucking 4 kilo bag of rice and live off of that for months. It's a lot cheaper in the long run. You know, you spend like £10, so probably about like $12–13 for like a fucking couple kilos of rice, or a good couple pounds of rice, like 13 pounds of rice or some shit. And it will last you for ages, and it won't be as expensive in the long run as buying bags of this stuff. You just put your own seasoning in the rice after you cooked it, stuff like that. And I don't know whether this stuff has like any kind of oils or anything like that in it, or it's just like a boil in a bag rice or some shit. But I mean, yeah, it looks like it has broth and stuff in it. But yeah, again, it's better to make your own rice. It's a lot cheaper in the long run, and it's a bit pointless buying things like this personally. But anyway, yeah, it'd be so much cheaper to buy your own like big box of rice, because there's like 4 of them, and I think I saw a price tag of like $2.50 for each one, which is, you know, probably about like half the price you pay for like a 4 kilo bag of rice or something like that. It's better in the long run just to buy the big bag of rice.
Cody, the red chips ahoy.
Again, more sugary snacks that I don't think should be laying around the house at all times, because it's just so easy to eat and so easy to get addicted to, especially kids. They're gonna want to fucking pick at this and constantly want to eat it all the time, especially if they see it around. They're feeling a little bit hungry. They're like, oh, you know, I could do something to eat. Bosh, there's a big old bag of cookies over there. I'm just gonna smash them down my throat and absolutely yam on them, rather than, you know, eat something healthy, a fruit or something.
The blue chips ahoy.
And again, more fucking cookies. That's like, that's so many cookies.
Sticks of butter.
That's a lot of butter as well. I don't think you need that much butter. I really don't. If you're using that much butter when you're cooking, that's not good. You should probably cut down on that. Use like a low-calorie cooking spray or something instead. I know it doesn't taste as good, I know, but it's a lot better for you in the long run.
Some pico de gallo, 3 tubs of the white queso, 2 gallons.
Damn, that's a lot. So that's like cheese, right? I think queso's cheese in Spanish, if I remember correctly. Don't crucify me if I'm wrong, but that's it's probably quite high calorie.
Some pico de gallo.
I forgot what pico de gallo is. I'm sorry. I think it looked like some sort of kind of veggie shit, right?
Some sticks of butter. Some pico de gallo.
I'm gonna have to Google pico de gallo quickly. Oh, right. Okay, so pico de gallo is a bit like, I guess it's a bit like the Mexican answer to like a sambo or something, right? Like more like an Indian kind of salad where it's like onion, tomatoes with some herbs and shit in it, maybe a bit like lemon sauce or something. Yeah, I think, yeah, that buying that little pot, and in comparison to buying that much cheese as well, it's a bit pointless. Like, that pot probably costs a lot of money as well, I reckon. I probably think that pot costs more than buying the tomatoes and the onions themselves, if I'm being honest. Like, generally I've seen packs of salad in some of the shops I go to, where it's like iceberg lettuce, carrots, stuff like that, all in like a bag, and it costs you way more than just buying the lettuce, the carrots, and whatever else is in it individually. So it's just the convenience of it. But buying that small little pot, it's probably going to cost you a lot more than buying a whole big bag that multiple people can eat. That small pot's not going to really serve that many people. It's going to serve 2 at most, if even that. It's probably for 1 person, if we're being completely honest. Yeah, but anyways, that was that little rant. But let's continue it.
White queso, 2
That's
gallons
still
of
too
milk.
much. I don't know. Again, I can't be mad at milk. Everyone has milk, right? Especially over here, drink a lot of tea and stuff like that. So you have a little bit of milk. I don't know the kind of color conventions of like American milk. But in the UK, the blue bottles, the blue lids generally means like the full fat milk, like the very creamy milk. And I generally, if that is this, it's something I don't recommend drinking. I genuinely think everyone should be having the semi-skimmed or the skimmed milk, because blue milk is very, very, very high calorie in comparison to skimmed, semi-skimmed. Skimmed is only a little bit less than semi-skimmed, if we're being completely honest. Like 100 mils of skim milk is probably only 10 calories less than 100 mils of semi-skimmed, if I remember correctly, or something like that. But I'm pretty sure blue milk is like at least 2 times that amount, at least. I do generally think, yes, it might taste nicer, but it's about making a good sacrifice, about making a good, healthier choice, and I think semi-skimmed or skimmed milk is going to do you a lot better in the long run. But yeah, let's continue.
Milk. I also went and got this cheese because
cheese, okay. I can't be too mad at shredded cheese or whatever. You know, again, generally with shredded cheese, they're quite a bit more expensive than just buying a block of cheese that you shred yourself. And you know, again, I would go for a lower calorie cheese if I'm being honest. I think high calorie cheese, you know, it tastes nicer, and if you don't have it very often, whatever, but if you're going to be eating a lot of cheese quite frequently, go for a low calorie option.
one of my friends on here actually recommended this for me, so I'm gonna try this out. I'm excited. We got 2 things of mushrooms.
Okay, 2 mushrooms. That doesn't seem like a lot of mushrooms.
Got some peppers.
Okay.
Pepperonis.
It's not a lot of peppers either for the amount of people in that house. No, the amount of peppers there, I bought peppers yesterday coincidentally. The amount of peppers inside that little thing there, let's have a look again,
peppers.
Is not feeding like 6 people or whatever. That's barely even feeding 3 people. In fact, I said we bought peppers yesterday. Now, I think yesterday we might have used most of them, if not all of them, just dinner alone. We'll probably at least use 4 of them, right? And that's for 3 of us, and there's 6 of them. That's not a whole lot of vegetables for 6 people, especially the mushrooms. Mushrooms are very, very kind of, when you cook them, they shrink down a lot, so you're going to need a lot more mushrooms if you're having like 6 people eating them, type of shit.
Pepperonis.
Shit, that's a lot of pepperonis. That's a lot of pepperoni. Damn. Ew, why is it in a bag like that as well? It doesn't look very appealing in a bag like that. But yeah, that's like the only fresh-ish meat we've seen so far, from what I remember. And even then, it doesn't look the most fresh. It looks very kind of preserved and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know, man.
And both are good, thankfully.
A
thing of 2 bite brownies.
Again, more kind of sugary snacks and stuff laying around the house. I'm going to keep saying that every time I see them because it's true. You don't need it laying around the house at all times. Having it occasionally is fine, but having it around the house just encourages you to be eating more and more shit.
3 cucumbers.
Oh, we've got 3 cucumbers this time. If I remember correctly, from what I saw in one of the previous ones, she only had like 1 cucumber. So I feel like every time someone in the comments is like, only 1 cucumber for the whole household, she's a bit like, sometimes she like replies to him being like, yeah, well, screw you or whatever, but then she goes and buys like another one in the next grocery haul or whatever. So I feel like that's what's happening here. 3 cucumbers, you know, better than 1 and better than nothing, I suppose.
A pack of green peppers.
Okay, so we've got more peppers. Okay, that's better. That's better. Okay.
2 blocks of the Monterey Jack cheese.
2 blocks. Okay, because I remember, again, in a previous one, she bought like 6 or 7 of those blocks. That was a lot. That was a lot. I don't know how much cheese you're getting for it because you already bought like so much cheese, especially like the shredded cheese in the bag, the cheese dip and everything like that. So you don't need to buy that many blocks of cheese. Even buying 2 is a little bit excessive here because of how much cheese you bought previously in this video alone.
2 blocks of the mozzarella cheese.
Yeah, again, so much cheese. Again, didn't you buy mozzarella in the bag? The shredded cheese, that is mozzarella. So having that and this 2 blocks of that is just excessive. It really is.
And 2 blocks of the mild cheddar cheese.
Yeah, yeah, that's excessive. But at least it's not 6 blocks of Monterey Jack and then the others, like I'm pretty sure she had before. But that's an excessive amount of cheese. Just get 1 block. If I'm being honest, I know you might like different types of cheese, but just get 1 block. I don't. Again, I know there's 6 people, but I don't think you're getting through that much cheese in like a week or 2. Cheese goes off quite quickly as well, so to get through that much cheese, you'd have to be eating it a lot, and getting more just encourages you to eat more cheese, you know.
We got some bacon. It looks like 3 packs here. What we got?
Okay, can't go mad with a bit of bacon. I love a bit of bacon.
Some cauliflower.
Okay, a cauliflower, just 1. 2 broccoli again.
2 things of broccoli.
It's good that we've got some vegetables in here.
Bananas.
Good that we got some
Chicken
fruits.
nuggets.
Okay, chicken nuggets. I ain't too mad at chicken nuggets, but yeah, you could be choosing better options for meals for kids and stuff like that. It's just a bit of a standard thing that a lot of parents seem to do, where they're just like, oh, my kid's hungry, let's slap some chicken nuggets in front of them. But you know, preferably be having really nice fresh meals and stuff like that.
Mozzarella sticks.
Yeah, again, the same thing applies to mozzarella sticks as it does to chicken nuggets. I ain't too mad at it. I do love them, but they shouldn't be bought all the time.
We got 2 packs of chicken.
That's
Y'all,
good.
we did not get hardly
That's
any
good.
meat today. We just got those 2 packs of chicken.
You should have bought more meat. I'm telling you, you should have bought more meat and less of like the freezer stuff, less pizzas, less of all the fucking sugary stuff you got back there, more fresh meat and stuff like that. I know what you're going to say, but we're not going to get through that much meat. We're not going to... You have freezer space. If you don't use all that much chicken in a week or whatever, put it in the freezer, defrost it or whatever. Just, you know, stop buying all of this crap and just buy more fresh food and stuff like that. You can keep it for longer if you freeze it. You don't need to be buying like a lot of highly processed, ultra processed food that lasts forever. You don't need to buy all this food that lasts a nuclear apocalypse or whatever. Just buy fresh meat, and if you don't use it all, put it in the freezer. You know, it's better than buying all this ultra processed shit.
Because there was nothing on sale. So we'll go back.
So you're only buying fresh meat if it's on sale. Do you buy a lot of the other stuff, like the pizzas and stuff, on sale as well? Because I find that's a bit like, if you're only buying fresh stuff if it's on sale, but you're buying all this shit regardless of whether it's on sale or not, that would be a bit like, what are you doing here? It should be the other way around. I'm telling you truthfully, the only time I ever buy high calorie like shit food is if it's on sale. Right, that's the only time I ever buy things nowadays. Like, let me show you. I bought these a few weeks ago. I haven't touched them. The Walker's Flaming Hot, they're or Lay's as they call them in America. I haven't touched them, but they were on sale. They were like 99 pence. They were originally like fucking almost £2 or something like that. So I bought them. I was like, you know, I might try them out someday, because I do love me some stuff like this, but I don't eat it very often at all because, again, I'm trying to be good, you know. But I only ever buy stuff like that when it's on sale. If it's fresh food, I am more likely to buy it on full price than I am shit food. So if you're buying only good food on sale and buying shit food at all opportunities you get, then that's just a bit like, yeah, again, what are you doing? It should be the other way around.
Get some when it's on sale. We still have some in the freezer, so. Dill seasoning.
Okay, at least you have some in the freezer, so that's not too bad. So, well done on that, at least.
I got 3 spreads.
Okay, so sort of marinade.
Some in the freezer, so. Dill seasoning.
Okay, I don't really know what that is personally, but you know, can't be too mad at it. Depending on obviously what's in it. If it's like a really ridiculously high calorie marinade, then obviously try and be a bit cautionary about it. Only use a little bit, or you know, make your own kind of healthier version of it if you can. But I ain't too mad at any seasoning or whatever the fuck, you know, as long as it's not a lot of it.
Got 3 Sprites.
It's like, hopefully that's sugar-free Sprite. Again, I'm not mad at like getting sodas and stuff like that as long as it's sugar-free.
I can't find the other one. I don't know where it's at. It's probably
so you got 3 of them.
Some of the stuff. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4,
Jesus.
5, 6, 7, and 8 Dr. Peppers.
8 Dr. fucking Peppers, and they're all the full sugar ones as well. Jesus Christ. Again, like I said, I'm not mad at buying a shit ton of sodas. I'm not mad if she bought 8 diet fucking Dr. Peppers or whatever. I would not be too mad at that. Yes, we should be drinking more water or whatever. I know, but I'm not mad at it if it's sugar free, but fuck me. That's not good. Especially if it's like the kids drinking that all the time. It's not fucking good.
1 Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew is like one of the worst ones, especially like American Mountain Dew. It's fucking probably way worse than any of the other stuff you can buy. It's the most sugary drink you can get, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly.
We got 2 of the
What's that?
Scoop chips.
Are those like nacho kind of things? Because didn't you already buy like 2 free bags of Doritos? I don't think you need that many nacho kind of stuff laying around. You really don't. Again, like I said, it's not good to be having like all these very highly palatable ultra processed shit laying around all the time, because it's just so easy to pick up when you're hungry. Just pick it up, eat it, and then feel hungry again straight after, you know.
A bag of red potatoes.
Red potatoes, that's good. I do like a red potato. I do like all kinds of potatoes. Sweet potatoes are the fucking goat of potatoes. They are so nice, so good. And they're very, I just love it when you mix like sweet potato kind of fries, sweet potato chips, and they come out like kind of soft, smooth, or, you know, even if you don't put any butter or anything on them, they come out buttery somehow. They come out really, oh yeah, nah, it's good. Sweet potato fry, sweet potatoes in general, they're good. I don't know if any of you had it, but in like the Philippines and stuff, they have like a sweet potato that they put in like desserts called like ube. It's so fucking good. It's so good. Oh man, yeah, I like sweet potatoes. They're good, and obviously red potatoes are good as well, and normal potatoes are good.
And a bag of baked potatoes.
Okay, yeah. I mean, to be honest, I don't know why you bothered buying them freezer chips if you had that many potatoes, because you could just make your own kind of fries out of it, or chips or whatever. Just again, it seems a bit pointless buying all those freezer chips when you can get these.
And then we also got 3 cases of water, but they're already put over in our little spot.
Like I said, unless you haven't got drinkable water, it's a bit pointless buying water, but I ain't too mad at it because water's water at the end of the day.
We keep them, so that was a lot. So at Sam's we spent $240.44. At Walmart we spent $133.64. And then at Food Lion we spent $94.74. So
Jesus.
Mom's doing the total.
Go
Our
on.
grand total for everything today was $468.28.
That seems quite a lot. I know there's 6 of them living in one house, but I think she does this bi-weekly if I remember correctly. So spending like between $400 to $500 about every 2 weeks is a lot. Shopping is expensive, I'm not going to deny that. I do think that she's getting a bit better with the amount of spending though, because I remember watching a previous one where she spent like $600 between like 3 shops, and I was just like, that is an insane amount for even 6 people. That's a lot of money to be spending on food and stuff like that every 2 weeks or so. So 400's a lot better. You know, that's a bit more reasonable for 6 people for 2 weeks or so. But, you know, even then, it's probably quite a lot. Especially because you're buying a lot of very expensive, highly palatable foods. And not only that, a lot of it seems to be kind of top shelf brands as well. So the fruit the fucking Fruit Loops or whatever, the cereals and stuff, a lot of it's like the top shelf brands. I do recommend everyone, personally, if you're going to buy like box stuff, branded stuff, I wouldn't bother personally. Even fizzy drinks like sodas and stuff, I personally I would buy the off-brand shit. I know people gonna be like, oh, what the fuck, that's nasty, but it's so much cheaper, so much cheaper. Like, let me show you. I drink a lot of energy drinks. I love a Monster energy drink, right? So in Lidl they have these, they're called like Kong. They are 0 sugar, weigh about the same kind of calories and stuff as a white Monster. If you can see a lot of that shit there, if you can get a look at it. It's a bit hard for me to focus it because yeah, it's the same kind of macros as a white Monster. Now this isn't a white Monster, this is kind of a new flavor, it's a limited flavor. This shit in Tesco and most places is like £2. This is like 80 pence. You see what I fucking mean? It is so much cheaper to buy the off-brand stuff when it's like, it's not as good, admittedly. You know, the off-brand stuff will probably never be as good, but it's very similar kind of macros. Again, this isn't white Monster, but it has similar macros. It's probably like 4 or 5 more calories, and it's like half the price. It's just, you save so much money buying the off-brand drinks than you do, and like the off-brand cereals and stuff, than you do buying the highly priced branded shit. Same with clothes as well. It's the same with everything, really. So, I mean, that's just my recommendation. I know a lot of people are so precious about the brands and stuff, and a lot of people would rather buy Heinz than like the Aldi brand or whatever, but you save so much money doing it.
So we actually didn't spend as much this time.
Yeah. Like I said, she didn't spend as much because before she spent like $600 or some shit, which is quite excessive.
However, we did spend, I know I went the other day and spent about $100, and then my mom spent probably $100 here and there.
Okay, so she did basically spend the same amount, spent $600. It's quite a lot.
So, alright, now to put it all up. Archery haul is a third.
Okay, yeah, so that's that one. I just wanted to kind of, again, dip my toes into a new form of content. I wanted to see what she's been up to, whether she's made any decent changes or anything like that, whether she's made any progress in regards to the kind of stuff that she's buying, and etc, etc. But it doesn't seem like she is. Yes, there are some more vegetables and stuff than before. She bought 2 more cucumbers than she did before. I'm pretty sure a few less pizzas than before, but it's still too many pizzas. Still not enough veg for the whole family. Still not enough fresh food for the whole family. A lot of it's highly processed, highly palatable, ultra processed stuff. Oven pizzas, microwavable stuff. A lot of fucking cheese, a lot of sauces, a lot of potato chips, like crisps type shit. A lot of food that I generally don't think should be laying around the house all the time, especially when you've got young kids who just want to obviously eat the good shit and they don't want to eat any of the healthy shit. But yes, so that was a grocery haul video, just checking out what she's got going on. Again, any improvements or anything like that. I kind of want to get into some of the comments and stuff, and I also wanted to see if she's replied to any of the comments, because like I said earlier on in like the intro, she isn't the best at taking criticism. I think personally she should just ignore a lot of the criticism, or you know, the more constructive stuff, take the constructive stuff on heart, but the mean stuff, just ignore it. Don't rise to it, don't give them the bait. So we're going to check out the comments, and then we're going to check out if she's made any reply videos. Okay, so I am up here in the top left because we're checking out some of the comments. It's one here. Well, they won't starve, that's for sure. Yeah, that's for sure. Although I would argue they're not going to be as, obviously they're going to be quite malnutrient or whatever the word is, because they're not getting many very good nutrients and stuff. So they will be starved in other ways, I guess. You're about to trigger some people that host this box. Yeah, I mean, it did trigger me a little bit, of course, because I just don't think it's the right thing to be buying and having around the house at all times. You know, if it's a one-off, that's fine. Someone please explain this pizza situation to me. So it was like I said, anyone confused? She has, I think, one specific son. I don't know, I think it's just the one who doesn't eat anything but pizza, basically. Like nothing else. He just doesn't like anything but pizza. So he's very fussy about that. And like I said, feeding kids stuff like this makes them fussy. So it's not really the kid's fault that he's fussy and doesn't want to eat anything else. It's kind of down to the parent what they're feeding them and stuff like that, right? But anyways, checking out more comments. Lots of good stuff. I don't agree. There's not a lot of good stuff. There's some good stuff, but it's 90% not very good stuff, if we're being honest. Would love to see you garden. I want to start gardening. Yeah, I think she does a bit of gardening. There was one video that's really confused me, which she had like one bag of like sweet corn or something, like corn on the cob type shit, something like that, and it was dated back to 2022. Now it had 2022 written on it, which obviously means it wasn't eaten, right? And then people were saying, right, so you're showing off that you've got all these fresh fruits and vegetables or whatever, proving the haters wrong by showing us a piece of veg that you haven't eaten for like 3 years. You're showing us the supposed drawer of fresh fruit or vegetables or whatever you have, but it's like 3 years old and you haven't eaten it. That's very much proving us wrong. And then she made a video being like, oh, you guys obviously don't understand how gardening works. And it's like, you didn't really go into much detail about that. You didn't really explain how we're wrong about that. Clearly, if you have something in the freezer and it's dated back 3 years ago, that means you haven't eaten it. It means you're not eating much fresh vegetables and fruit. You can't use something as an example when it's like 3 years old and you haven't eaten it, you know? Like, if I had a bag of lettuce that's been sitting in the fridge for like 3 months and I'm like, yeah guys, I ate plenty of fresh fruit and vegetables. You know, I mean, obviously not. It's still in there. Like, but you know, anyway, I'm ranting. What do you do with all that sugar? Me and my family use it 5 years. That's what I've been saying. Me and my family, we've had like the same packet of probably 1 kilo, 500 grams sugar for like years. We don't even really have sugar with anything. Yeah, so just a quick little voiceover, post-editing. We don't even have sugar in the house. I checked the cupboards. We have like little cubes of sugar for tea or whatever, but we don't even use them. We don't see as why so much sugar. I've had £1 sugar that lasts all year in my house yet, but again, the same thing. As long as them babies are fed. This is one thing that I personally disagree with. A lot of people kind of think that being well fed equals being healthy or is a good thing, when it's like, when you're overly feeding kids a lot of bad shit, that is not good at all, you know? I'm not saying you should let your kids go without food or whatever the fuck, that's obviously not what I'm saying, but I don't think it's good to see this as a more positive light. You know, I mean, getting some your kids stuff this occasionally is fine, but having it all the time is not good, is basically what I'm trying to get at. But yeah, I don't know if it's something I completely agree with. Yes, it's good that your kids are being fed and stuff like that, but I do think generally we should be making better choices for them in the future, because it's just not fun. I can tell you from experience, being the fat kid in school and stuff like that ain't fun, because nobody respects you, nobody likes you, everyone makes fun of you. When you get older and you want to start relationships, no one takes you seriously. You know, when I was overweight and I wanted to start talking to girls and stuff, they would immediately look at you and be like, what the fuck are you trying to do? You know, I don't know, some people are going to be like, oh, it's obviously not that, it's obviously your personality or blah blah blah. It's not. Believe it or not, in reality, I am a bit awkward. I'm a bit, I'm not the most talkative person in reality. I do not have natural charisma and stuff like that, especially when it comes to talking to people I'm attracted to and stuff like that. I do not have that kind of charisma. I just don't know how to talk to people sometimes. But again, it has nothing to do with personality and everything to do with initial attraction and finding someone attractive. a lot of people wouldn't give me time of day because initial attraction is everything, at least at first. You know, you're not going to look at someone from across the road and be like, oh yeah, they have a really nice personality, because you don't know them like that. When you see someone across the road, the first thing you're going to think is, are they attractive or are they not attractive, in terms of like dating them, right? For example. And if you see someone who you're not attracted to, you're not going to comment to yourself, oh, that person's really attractive. You're just going to be like, yeah, and then you're going to move on, aren't you? But if you see someone who's really attractive walking towards you, you're going to be thinking, shit, they're fucking attractive. You're not going to be thinking, oh yeah, they've got such a nice personality. So yeah, anyway, I'm ranting. Basically, growing up fat is not fun. And, you know, it's not only obviously when it comes to social aspect, when it comes to dating and making friends and getting bullied and stuff like that, which is already awful, and it's something a lot of fat people go through. It's something I've been through a lot of times as well. It's also the physical aspect. You're not going to be able to keep up with the other kids. I cannot run as fast as the other kids. I cannot run as far as the other kids. My coordination is not as good as the other kids. A lot of our kids are doing cartwheels. They're pulling themselves up on like climbing frames and stuff. I couldn't do that. Why? Because I was fat. I wasn't maneuverable enough. I wasn't light enough. I couldn't pull myself off of stuff. I couldn't do cartwheels. I couldn't do rolls. I couldn't do front flips. You know, I couldn't play sports as well as a lot of the other kids because I was fat. I couldn't keep up. It's not fun. You know, when I was young, I used to really like football, or soccer as some people call it. I used to fucking love it. I used to play it every single day, but I was fat. I couldn't keep up with the other kids. I was always lagging behind. They always used to put me in the goalkeeping position because they thought somehow that would make it better. It doesn't. I don't know why they put the fat kids in goalkeeping. That's worse, to be honest, because, you know, to be a goalkeeper, you need to be agile, you need to be able to dive around, grab the ball. Putting the fat kid in there just because they're wide, thinking that will stop the ball. It doesn't. The ball gets in because they can't dive after it because it's too heavy. And then everyone gets mad at them. It's like, oh, why didn't you fucking stop the ball? It's like, oh, what am I supposed to do? I'm fat. I can't jump. But yeah, it's not fun. It isn't fun. So, yes, it is good that these kids are being fed. Obviously, no kid should be starving. That is dreadful. But I do think there is a certain degree where we kind of look at it as being less fed and being overfed. You know, or being fed the wrong stuff. You know, I do think there is a degree that shouldn't be blurred, if that makes sense. But anyway, let's have a look. American package sizes are just a different world. Yeah, I would tend to agree, but I think they're getting pretty fucking bad over here as well. And I think most of the world is getting pretty bad in a lot of places as well. I know a lot of other European countries aren't as bad as UK. But I've heard some people say that their countries are getting pretty bad for stuff like this as well. But I don't know. I don't live there, so I'm not going to make that distinction. I know you can say, oh, you don't live in America either. How can you make that distinction? Because I see it all the time. There's a lot more access to American media, and American TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that, because I'm an English speaker, and obviously I'm going to see a lot more American related content and stuff where I see this shit going on. So I'm going to be able to make that distinction a lot better than I am French speaking YouTube and stuff like that, if that makes sense. What's that? Even baking the cake means it comes from a box. Yeah, I'm not being funny. I don't really care about that. It's cake is a cake. It's fucking high calorie and stuff anyway. You shouldn't be eating a cake all the time, whether it's from scratch or not. It's still ridiculously high calorie. It's still got a fuck ton of sugar and butter and stuff in it. It doesn't fucking matter too much, if I'm being completely honest. What are you planning to do with squash? I never know what to do with gourds. Honestly, just grill them or put them in the oven or something. You know, just do some roasted veg. There might not be too much you can do with them. Just put a little bit of seasoning on it, roast them or grill them, like this content creator said as well. Like Boy Mum said. So basically $1,000 a month for groceries. I don't know how you do it. My house makes $40 an hour. My budget is $150 every 2 weeks. Maybe I'm budgeting wrong. No, you're not budgeting wrong. That is what most people do. Yeah, to spend $600 a month on groceries is a lot. It is quite excessive. But again, it's because of the type of stuff she's buying, the ultra processed stuff and the high branded stuff, it costs a lot of money. Okay, no hate, but distilled water doesn't really have any minerals or anything. It affects your hydration. You want to grab spring water or other drinks and minerals, blah blah blah. Yeah, maybe. I'm not going to dispute that, but drinking water in general is better than drinking no water at all. So even if it's not the best kind of water you can get out there or whatever, that's still better than not drinking anything, Where's the homemade meals, the meat, the proper veg and seasonings? Oh my god, America has such a sugar pre-packed junk problem. This is everything I've been saying. A lot of the fresh meat and stuff like that. Yes, she did buy some fresh meat, and yes, she said she had some in the freezer, but I haven't seen them eat that much. And obviously, buying all them pizzas for the kids and buying all the fucking little snacks and cereals and stuff, obviously they're not eating a lot of fresh meals, they're not eating a lot of fresh meat, and there's obviously like no fresh rice, pasta and stuff like that. It seems to be all in those little boxes, the bippity boppity, whatever the fuck it's called again. My bad, the vermicelli stuff, whatever it's called again. It's not a whole lot of fresh food, and there's not a whole lot of veg there either. And yeah, I completely agree. America does have a massive sugar pre-packed bullshit problem, again, which the UK unfortunately has as well. I do think in the UK, a lot of our food has, I think we have less of a sugar problem and more of like a fried, like chips and stuff problem. A lot of us love like a good oily fried food over here. We love like fish and chips, we love greasy kebabs and shit like that. That's the kind of stuff that we eat in excess, whereas from what I've seen, a lot of Americans like sugary stuff. Not so much of a problem over here, but although it is becoming a bit more of a problem. But yeah, for the most part, I think it is. We just fucking love an oily dinner over here. We really do. I can't say that I'm above it, but I don't eat it a lot and every day and stuff like that anyways, but so yeah, that's some of the comments. We're gonna have another little look and we're gonna see if she's made any response to some of the comments like she has previously, because like you're gonna see, like I said, she doesn't take criticism too well, and I think that she should just ignore a lot of like the very bad criticism she gets. Now I would agree that the stuff she's not feeding her kids isn't ideal, but if you get comments saying, oh, you're a fucking monster for feeding your kids, stuff like that, just ignore it. You don't have to rise to it. So I'm gonna have a little look, see if there are any. Alright, so I found one here where it's talking about like type of flour to use in enchiladas or tortillas or something. Now, it doesn't seem like much of like a big deal, right? It seems like a small criticism, but we're going to see how she takes it, and if she takes it a bit personally, stuff like that. But let's have a look.
Listen, I never claimed that I made the best, most authentic enchiladas.
Fair enough, yeah, fair enough.
I used what I had, and we like them that way. They were good. I mean, I'm open to trying them with corn tortillas, but I just used what I had.
Fair enough.
They were good. We like them that way. But thanks for the advice. Everyone, it's literally so hard to please everyone.
I've just got to say though, like, why bother responding? Like I said, yes, it's like kind of constructive criticism. They're telling you, yeah, this is how you should make it instead. It's a bit better this way rather than this way. But you know what you got to do? You've got to either like it, reply to it saying, yeah, cool, maybe, or just ignore it. Like, you don't need to make a whole video about it and then go into a whole rant about like, oh, so many people are so hard to please, I can't fucking please you guys. Yeah, you're gonna have comments and stuff like this where you can't please everyone. Yes, we all have our detractors, and yes, we all have our criticisms that we will have to deal with, whether they be constructive or not. This comment doesn't seem that bad. It's just saying it's not the same flour with tortillas. Corn tortillas are with enchiladas. That's all it's saying.
The tortillas are too big. I put too little chicken. We like them that way. What does it matter? I mean,
sure. But again, like I'm saying, I don't know why you're bothering replying to a lot of these comments. Like, generally, you should just ignore them, I think, yes, maybe you do have a disproportionate amount of people saying, why aren't you doing it this way? You know, criticizing the type of food that you're eating and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, you are putting it online for people to see. So you are going to invite detractors, and not only haters, detractors, but people who like it as well. You're going to get all sorts of mixed reactions. That's just the nature of it. Especially if it's something a bit controversial, you're going to get more detractors than positive comments. So you should be prepared for that, first of all. And second of all, just don't bother responding. Just fucking do what you prefer. And if people do make a comment saying you should probably have a bit more protein in it, instead just either respond to it, just say yeah, cool, or just don't. I've said it before and I say it again. I know I'm repeating myself, but it's true.
I just cannot win with y'all. Cannot win.
Yeah, and you never will win with everyone. You won't. So there's no point getting amped up about it, because you're just not gonna win. Because say even if she did do like a 180, say if she stopped buying all the freezer foods, stopped buying all the junk, everything like that, and went complete fucking almond mum, right? Complete fucking, oh, I got this fucking drink for my detox, my liver, or whatever the fuck, you know, that type of shit. She's gonna get hate for that as well. Be prepared, you know, when you put stuff online, you're not gonna get positive criticisms and positive reactions all the time. You're going to get detractors. It's just kind of the nature of uploading things. So either don't upload if it's getting to you that much, or just ignore it. Like I said, I get it, you know, sometimes you just want to share something, and you know, you don't really necessarily want people to be all fucking pissed off all the time about everything little thing you do. But again, I will say, you have been uploading it for people to watch. You're going to get criticism regardless of what you do. Even if you give fucking food to the homeless, even if you straight up cure cancer, people are going to be like, oh, fuck you, you know, someone out there is going to hate you. It's like, have you seen, there's a 2002 Spider-Man film, Tobey Maguire, Willem Dafoe, goated film. I fucking love that film. The best Spider-Man film, apart from maybe Spider-Man 2, that one's great as well. But have you seen that one, right? There's a scene that's always stuck with me since I was a kid. The scene where Green Goblin, he knocks out Spider-Man with the fucking spray that knocks him out. And then they have a conversation on that rooftop, and there's one thing that really sticks to me in that bit where he says, in spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they'll hate you, why bother? And it's a bit like, people can be like that. I know the whole point is, yes, people may hate me, but I'm still going to do the right thing anyway. But that scene did stick with me, because he has a bit of a point there. Sometimes people, regardless of what you do, even if you do the right thing, they're going to eventually hate you. You could do everything right, but you're still going to get your detractors, and that's something you should be prepared for at the end of the day. It's an unfortunate reality, and that is something we can't change. Either upload it and ignore it, make a small reply, just be like, yeah, cool, whatever, or just stop uploading in general, you know.
But it's okay. We enjoyed them. They tasted very, very good. My kids literally wiped their plates clean, except for...
But again, you know, it doesn't matter how you make these things. It doesn't. I don't care what type of flour you fucking use, and I'm sure most people don't. But again, like I said, you will get detractors online.
Brantley, but he ate most of his. They were so good.
Fair enough.
They like we get at the Mexican restaurant?
Probably
no,
not.
They're not nearly as good. Never ever imagined they would be.
But they never are, though, are they? Like, let's be honest. They never are as good as when you go out and buy them from like a Mexican place or whatever.
But they are really good. We make them all the time.
Unless you know someone who's Mexican who can make them even better, which I don't, unfortunately. I wish I did, you know, because I love me some Mexican food, but we don't get many Mexicans over here. You know, it's not really a thing. So, you know, I know a good few Indian people who make good Indian food, though, so I have that at least. You know, that's a fucking W. I love Indian food. But anyway.
We love them, and it is what it is. I'm sorry.
Fair enough. Now, you see what I mean about her not being the best with kind of criticism. Yes, I get it. All of her videos that she uploads, she gets criticism for things, you know, sometimes rightfully so, sometimes not rightfully so. But again, the best thing to do is just to ignore it. The best thing to do, if you're getting like mean criticism or just small little nitpicks that really don't matter, just ignore it. Now, constructive criticism is always good. I genuinely think that no one should be getting upset at constructive criticism. That comment didn't seem that bad. It's not horrible, it's not bitter, it's not mean, it's not saying, fuck you, you're wrong, how dare you use this type of thing, you're disgusting. It's just saying, that's not the right type of flour, that's the one you use for this one. I don't think she seems like a horrible person at all. I don't think she seems like a bad person. She's probably quite nice. But I do think that obviously the stuff that she's eating and feeding her kids and stuff like that isn't right, and I don't like that and I don't agree with that, and I think it is wrong. And I do think a lot of the way she responds to criticism is also a bit wrong, even if it's more constructive or not very harmful criticism. She seems to get a bit kind of uppity about certain things, a bit like, oh, don't tell me what to do, blah blah blah, and it's just like all they're doing is making a little suggestion at the end of the day. Okay, so we have another one here where she's reacting to a criticism, and again, I think it shows everything I've been saying so far about like the way she responds to criticism.
No dash laugh, I am 67. Don't I look so good for a 67-year-old?
Obviously,
It's that real good.
obviously, you know, it's kind of mean for that comment to be saying that. Obviously, it is a bit mean to be commenting on like, oh, you look fucking rough, or you look a bit old for your age type shit. You know, it's a bit mean to be saying that to someone. I will agree, but I just generally think, again, responding to the comment, let alone making a whole video out of it, it's just adding fuel to the fire. You're giving a lot of people who do genuinely hate you more fuel to be like, oh, you're so shit at taking criticism, you know, all you do is moan and complain about stuff, you know, stuff like that. You know, I do think it's mean, but you should just ignore it. Just fuck them, you know.
Skincare, right, Bryson?
Keep her in shape.
Okay.
67 years old.
We keep her in shape.
Hardly any wrinkles.
So,
Got one little age spot.
and the thing is, she kind of drags it out as well. Like, she makes like a whole minute video out of it. I think she might be making, I know on TikTok, some people make minute-long videos to get paid for the videos or something like that. So she's dragging it out, making a whole kind of thing out of it, when realistically you could have made just a 10-second video being like, oh yeah, well, fuck off, basically, or just not done it at all. Like I say, just don't rise to it.
She got groceries.
So that
Anyway.
must mean I'm 67. I got an age spot.
Just gonna skip along.
I'm 67, so. Ash, laugh. It's always the ones with no profile picture.
I will admit, it is always the ones with no profile picture. Either that, or it's like someone with like a fucking anime profile picture or something, being like, "Oh, you're fat and gay." And it's like, all right. You know, I say that as a proud anime profile picture, however, on all my gaming accounts and stuff or whatever. But you know, it's always, yeah, it's the same type of people.
Probably. It let you get a good long.
Also, like, hear me out. I'm probably gonna censor out like the kids and stuff. I know I don't know if any of you watch like a lot of kind of people in this kind of sphere that I'm in, like Honey Bison and stuff like that, right? But I think she makes a good point about like showing kids online. I don't like it personally. I think, especially, you know, on like YouTube and TikTok and stuff, I don't really like people sharing photos of the kids and videos of their kids, because there's a lot of fucking weirdos out there. You know, if it's like a personal private Instagram account, don't really mind too much, but even then I wouldn't do it personally. I'm not a photo sharey kind of person anyway. I have an Instagram. I already upload pictures to it because I'm just kind of shit at posting pictures and stuff, if I'm being honest. But I don't really like it myself personally, so I'll probably, she showed the young lad there, and I'll probably censor it out. I think that's the oldest kid, but I'll probably gonna blow it up a little bit. But anyway, yeah, I think we get the gist of that video. Anyway, I've made a long video here, just going over the type of things that she's buying, dipping my toe into the controversy, stuff like that, seeing what it's all about, seeing the way she responds to criticism for the most part. Now, I know on the video itself, the caption said, this isn't specifically just for this one person I'm responding to, but for everyone. But it does seem a bit like, A, first of all, why would you pick out that comment out of all of them? And B, why even bother responding to them in the first place? Just ignore it and move on. Or take it onto heart and be like, yeah, cool, I'll try it that way next time. You know, something, whatever. But yeah, I'm finished for today. I think that'll be it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe and everything like that. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you like this one. It's a bit of a new one for me. It'll probably be a bit of a long one as well. So hopefully you like the format and things like that. You like what I have to say and talk about, and don't take everything I say to heart. You know, at the end of the day, if I have criticisms, whether they be just or unjust, just don't take it too personally, because at the end of the day, we're all making content here. You know, we're all posting it online for people to see. So if you have criticism from me, I'm not going to take it too to heart. If I disagree, I probably would just be like, yeah, cool, or I just won't respond, because that's just how you got to do it. You can't let every little comment get a rise out of you, regardless of whether they're justified or not. But anyways, I'll catch you all in the next one. I'll see you later. Hopefully everyone takes care and you have a good day. Everything like that. I'll see you later.